Welcome back guys, and welcome to another cracking video for Motorhome Retrofit. So, last couple of days, the team here, including myself, have been working on this 2022 Hymer Grand Canyon on a Mercedes Sprinter S907 chassis. Now, this vehicle came into us for a lot of lighting and also some audio and sound deadening. So what we'll do is we'll start at the most important bit and let's concentrate on these. These are the Carbon 2 fog lights. They're not just fog lights, they do lots of other things. So we've got yellow fog light, we've got white fog light, we've got position light, which can be clear or amber. Now this particular vehicle came to us with factory fog lights. So that meant that once we took this piece of trim off, we were able to then fit the outer part of the 3D printed housing for these Lazer Carbon 2 fog lights, and they throw out some awesome light. Now, at this point, we can control the yellow light on its own just by a little remote control button, which I'm gonna grab in a second. But when the yellow lights are off and the ignition is just on, so my glamorous assistant heard me then and put the key in the ignition. We have the yellow fog lights gone off and we've got the position lights on. Now hopefully you can see that clearly through the lens. The position lights are also known as daytime running lights. Now the daytime running lights are on all the time that the ignition is on. If you weren't driving in the UK, you can change this to amber. If you want to be illegal or risky or whatever, you can change this from light white to amber, and the amber daytime running light looks pretty cool. This is the DRL, or the position lights. Now, when Jason, who sat behind the steering wheel right now, was to flash the high beam at you, all four lights have come on, so not just our Carbon 2 in white full beam, but also our Lazer Triple R-750 wide version, all with a grille integration kit. Now, without the position lights on and without the high beam on, Jason can just press a button on the dashboard and the yellow fog lights will come on. Okay, so the yellow fog lights aren't really fog lights, they are yellow driving lights. Now, depending on how old you are watching this video, then back in the day when a lot of the race cars and a lot of the cars, rally cars and other old cars had yellow driving lights. Now, this is quite cool, so it's a bit of a throwback, but it makes this Hymer Grand Canyon 4x4 look even more rugged, and we've seen so many of these come through the doors that have got so many cool things added. Big knobbly tyres, massive storage boxes on the back, ladder, and everything to make it completely off-road and rugged. Now, when this vehicle is then driving on the continent, so on the other side of the road or down country lanes here or abroad, he's going to cut through the night with either these two yellow driving lights, or if all four lights go on, you're going to absolutely dazzle everybody, hopefully not, with these. And of course you've got the factory. Now this particular vehicle only came into us from factory with the halogen headlights, so we've had to change the way that we've wired all this in to pick up data elsewhere. And what makes this clever is we've got one data interface called a CANI, it's a CAN bus interface, and that then talks data to all of these so that we've got complete control. So we've taken the fog lights out, put the new Carbon 2 lights in, and then also cut out the central grille, put in the Lazer Light Triple R-750 wide version in there, and then connected it all up to power and data to give us this end result. It looks awesome. Now we're going to talk about the sound deadening and the audio upgrades we've done. Right, we're now sat in the cabin and we wanted to show you talk to you the integration of how we've integrated these lights. So the Lazer lights, the Triple R-750, whether you've gone for the standard model, the wide model or the elite model, will always integrate it into your high beam. We don't fit a separate dash switch. We find it really tacky. It just doesn't look very good. The only reason why you'd want a separate dash switch is if you go off grid to the point that you want to be able to switch those lights on for putting your tent up or chopping down a tree or whatever you want to do. The whole point of integration is that you can integrate it through your high beam. That might be through a wire at the back of the headlight or through a data interface, which then pulls that data because you've got LED factory headlights and not the basic halogen ones. So on this particular model, even though we have only got the halogen basic model, we have still picked up the data from CAN bus, and that also then allows us to talk to everything else in the vehicle. So if I pull this forward, the blue light on the instrument cluster appears, which is giving me high beam. So you can see that there, the blue light on there, and high beam means that I have got all 4 lights on. Typically, if we were just fitting the laser lights, you would just see the 2 highlights at the top there, the 2 white ones, they are the 2 lasers. But because we've also fitted the carbon 2, they're also lighting up the wall a little bit lower down, and at night is going to be pretty impressive. So that's high beam for the laser lights and also high beam for the carbon 2. So that's the 4 of them set up. Without any of that touched, the minute we put on the ignition, the 2 position lights on the carbon 2 will light up. Obviously we're not abroad, we have to have white in the UK, so that's how it's been set up. They are on a very low output and just there to give you a little bit more presence on the road. So that's it, set up, nothing else to do with that. Then you've got the smart button. So this is the smart button. Hopefully you can see this in the right light. This is a tiny little push button. It can be stuck on a flat surface, and it's got a little button cell battery in there. And this little button here even comes with a whole list of little stickies. So depending on how you're utilizing this button means that you can choose the sticker that's relevant to what this button does, or if you want to be stealthy, you can just literally stick it on somewhere like so, and no one even knows it's a button. They probably think it's a phone mount. So you don't have to have a sticker on there at all, but that's what comes with these smart buttons. And this is what this thing is called. It's called a smart button. The smart button only works in conjunction with the CAN, which is the CAN interface. The CAN interface is a device that I'm just about to show you on my phone. This is the Lazer CAN. Now, at the moment, you can see it's ready, it's connected, it's talking to CAN bus within the vehicle, and we have set it up to do all 4 of its outputs from the CAN interface for this vehicle. At the top, you can see Mercedes Sprinter, and that Mercedes Sprinter is 2018 onwards, and we have set up channels 1, 2, 3, 4, so that we can tell it what we want it to do. Now, the one at the top is called manual safe, and the reason for that is because without the key in the ignition, without the lights on, and without anything else, we can control the yellow carbon fog lights. So the carbon 2, as you know, has position light mode, has white bright mode, and yellow bright mode, and we've set this up so that this is independent, because when you do use high beam, you're just going to flash white, so therefore you're losing functionality if you can't then select the yellow. And I'm going to press this button like so, and hopefully just over the top of the windscreen, if you can see through Sammy's camera, you can see that the wall is then lit up in yellow, and I can press the button again and it turns off. It's that simple. So this button can be mounted anywhere you want. Now, if this particular vehicle then wanted a light bar along the roof, or some field lights down the side of the vehicle, reversing lights at the back, or any other kind of lights on here to do with LEDs, we can use the CAN interface to wire up or pair more of these. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever you want. I'm just using this as an example. They could all have their different stickers on, and depending on what you want that button to do, irrespective of what the key is doing, because if it's powered up through your Lazer battery, you could then effectively turn on a side light on the left, a side light on the right. You could turn on a roof bar light at the top, or reverse light for nighttime camping, cooking, partying, whatever you want to do. The options are endless, and that's what's so clever about these laser lights. Very, very clever, incredible warranty in terms of the design and manufacture and build. And yeah, we fit a lot of these, but this is the first set of these Carbon 2 factory fog lights, position lights that we fitted, and we're dead impressed. Right, now we're going to talk to you about a bit about the audio upgrades we've done on this van. Welcome back. So this is the very, very poor quality factory fitted speaker. Tiny little magnet, weighs absolutely nothing. And here is the factory fitted tweeter. Factory fitted tweeter is mounted far left and right hand side on the dashboard and is sunk into the dashboard, and the audio just hits the windscreen and deflects off. So as you can see, we have now removed those and fitted these new Alpine component speaker tweeter setup with these die cut little plastic housings as well. So you've got plastic housing with the die cut metal, and it's then immediately projecting the vocals, the high end, out to you as a driver and a passenger for you to enjoy your music. At the same time, we've also done our stages 1, 2 and 3 sound deadening on the door. Now, as you may have watched any of our other previous videos on the Mercedes Sprinter S907, the doors are very different on this one. Even though we've done our usual stage 2 sound deadening on the outer skin, which is 2.5mm Vespa, we then have to remove the door card from both of the doors, and we apply our stage 1 2.5mm Vespa on the back of the door card, fit the new speaker onto the door card, and then we do our 15mm sound wave over the top, and that gives it then the 3 layers. And once the speakers are in and the tweeters are in, sounds fantastic. But we didn't just stop there. If you have room underneath one of your seats and it hasn't had a camper conversion that has been clogged up with inverters, leisure batteries, fusing systems and stuff like that, then you will have the room for what we've got underneath here. We have fitted the SPC system from Alpine. It's the W84 S907-2. I think it's that's the part number, but it's on our website. The -2 means it's the Mark II, and even though it still uses the same 8-inch E-series carpeted subwoofer with brackets to fit under the seat, which you'll see during the video, it all then interconnects with a really nice kind of plug and play loom that feeds off to the driver's tweeter and off to the passenger tweeter, picks up power and ground from battery and a chassis post down here, and then behind this area here we fit the newly remodeled 6-channel DSP amplifier. Now this particular amplifier has loads of little pots on it. So pot 1 and pot 2, the little potentiometers, and you can adjust them from 0 up to 9 depending on what vehicle you're working in. So you could be left-hand drive, right-hand drive, 2 speakers, 4 speakers, 10-inch with the center speaker or 7-inch without the center speaker. There are lots of variations. We've set this one up to right-hand drive, 10-inch with the center speaker and 4-channel. And that means that all the speakers in here are getting amplified through the DSP signal, and it sounds much better because unfortunately the MBUX system is not great. We've done another video about miserable sound in your MBUX in your Mercedes, so do check that out. But this is grossly underpowered for the fact that it's got Mercedes badge on there, and the MBUX, as much as it's provides nice clean reversing camera image and some other features, it's not great. The amplification is really poor. So having the DSP means that you get more volume and oomph out of your new speakers. So if you're listening to your favorite tracks or playlist, you can turn the volume up, and then with added subwoofer under here, just put a smile on your face. And that's what it's, that's what it's all about for us. So stages 1, 2 and 3, sound deadening, component speakers in the doors and on the dashboard, 8-inch subwoofer in a boxed unit that goes physically underneath the driver's seat as long as you've got the room, all connected up to the DSP. And then we've done the laser lights as well, so the Lazer Light Elite and also the Carbon 2. If you're interested in any of the products you've seen in this video, if you don't or haven't subscribed to our video, then make sure you hit the subscribe button now, please. It does help us as well. Check out our website, and if you want to get in contact with us, then hit the contact form, get in touch with us that way. Website links in the bio, follow us on social media, and catch up next time.